How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? This is my regular blog. Today I want to talk to you about something it's almost unspeakable to have to mention. It's heartbreaking to even think of it. How kids are getting killed in the schools, and there was a bunch of incidents where 2 or 3 kids got killed in the past week, and all of a sudden today 6 more kids got killed and a number injured. This is too unbelievable and unbearable to imagine that they are so unprotected in their schools that any nutcase, any maniac, anybody who's out of his mind could suddenly come into a schoolroom and shoot whoever he wants with impunity. There's no protection against them of any kind at any time, and these sick gun control fanatics who are so desperately determined to sound like a humanitarian and feel like a humanitarian, that they're guilt-ridden, sick people. They are so sick that they don't care if they pervert reality just to feel good. It makes them feel good, and they don't care who dies in the process. They love to think that they care, but they don't even study the results. They don't even make an effort to find out. What is this gun control doing to people? What is it doing to people? It's allowing people to get killed in the schools every day. If one kid had a gun there, this never could have happened. Why would they want to have people with fire marshals, gun marshals on the plane, so that if a guy comes in and tries to shoot people, there'll be a gun marshal there to kill them? Why don't they have a person like that in the schools? Why can't one person be entitled to carry a gun, whether it's a student, a principal, a teacher, a lawyer, anybody, to make sure that this doesn't happen? Because you have to go through so many procedures about gun control to justify it, and they make it so inconceivable and impossible that it never happens. We are all being subjected and victimized by these sick, maniac, feel-good humanitarians who are phonies and sickos, and they never stop to think of the consequences of their behavior and their attitudes. These son of a bitches. Kids are getting killed every day, and what are they thing? They don't change their plan, they don't change their system. When one Tylenol was found to be poisonous, out of 90 billion Tylenols, they put a stop to it immediately and took an immediate action. They took an immediate action when a grape was found to be contaminated 10 years ago, and grapes couldn't be sold for about 3 months. Now doctors are prescribing antidepressants to kids. These antidepressant kids are killing people. Nobody stops to think of the results of these antidepressants. Nobody monitors the effect of the antidepressants. What happens to the doctor who subscribed the antidepressant? How come he's not held responsible for what happened to that kid after he took it? How come he didn't monitor that kid? How come he's not responsible for the fact or for the behavior of that kid after he gave him the antidepressant? In almost every case, a kid on antidepressants or was a victim of antidepressants and took antidepressants is the one who killed other kids.
Well, there's just no question that antidepressants can cause violence, they cause suicide, and they commonly cause mania.
Indeed, Eric Harris and Sung-Wee Cho were both taking antidepressants when they went on their respective rampages. Now we know from police that 27-year-old Stephen Kazmierczak also had recently been taking medication. So people are saying that this happened because he went off his medication. What do you say to that?
Well, that's a mistake. Actually, the drugs cause violence.
And nobody does anything about it. These doctors are complicit in the murder of every child, and they should be held responsible. And if necessary, there should be a court of law to determine to what extent they're responsible and what their neglect did and how it caused kids to be killed every day. Those doctors should either be responsible or drop dead, or given the electric chair, or they should be shot or destroyed. How long are we going to tolerate this before we put an end to it?
From the mountains.
These drugs actually increase the risk of suicide in clinical trials. They gave people placebo and they gave people the drug, and the people that were taking the drug wanted to commit suicide at a far greater rate than the people who were taking a sugar pill.
Who were depressed and were taking a sugar pill.
The other stuff that they've suppressed is that they increase violent tendencies, and that when some people start taking them, they can never ever get off them.
This song is for all of the armed forces that's fighting for peace over in a foreign land, fighting to preserve the peace for you and me too. So let's do it for them. from the mountain to the prairie, to the ocean, wide with gold.